I won't be a stickler for the rules.
Na 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 na. Spoiler alert. Welcome to episode 145 of Thanks for Watching. Yay!
145. Holy cowbell.
Yes, and we are in the midst of March. Okay, just started.
It's March 1st.
In the midst of March? Yeah, we're in the midst of the first day of March. Yes.
Yeah,
Day of
or
March.
yeah.
You know, I get all
He's all alliteration. Ooh,
Midst of March. Oh, wait.
it sounds so good. Oh, it's the first.
Yeah, darn it.
Too excited, man. Too excited.
I was doing so well up until that point.
Yeah,
March
it was sounding really
madness. Yes.
Oh.
Oh boy, I'm DJ.
I am Beth.
And I'm in the midst of Joe.
Hey. Minced meat.
Well, I am in my
Joe.
I'm in my mid years, right? So
Oh,
That's
sure.
true.
Yeah, yes. Yes, aren't we all?
it's all downhill from here.
I guess.
All right. No,
So I've been
dear.
told. So I've been
I
told.
mean, I hope it's the midst. I'll be really bummed if I'm like
Yeah.
more than half.
Oh my goodness. Yikes.
Depressing.
See what happens when we have a week off? Like, I don't even know what to do with myself during the week. Like, once we record, then I still have to edit, and then I have to think of how I'm going to promote the show, and oh my gosh. But when I don't have that, I'm like, now what?
Well, let me tell you something. Why don't you get a really big dog and
Oh.
put him through surgery, and then everything will go wrong for 2 weeks, and it'll be like you just had a show.
Oh, good idea.
No, don't ever.
Oh,
Just, if
okay.
you can avoid issues after your dog has surgery, I recommend it.
Got it. Well, instead, I got a second Pfizer COVID vaccine shot, and
Oh yeah, that put you on your butt for about 12 hours.
yeah, it was not my friend. It was pretty nasty.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But
Yeah.
hey, now you're vaccinated.
Yes, absolutely.
Vaccinated.
Yeah, that's what I
Vaccinated.
said.
And, I feel like it, I mean, bring it on, COVID. No, don't.
No,
Just stay
but
away.
knock on wood.
Knocking.
Or like
There we go.
Better try to
stand up and
remove
like
that
turn in
from
a
the-
circle 3 times and spit over your left shoulder. Don't say shit
yeah.
like
Remove that from the ether right now, man.
Where's the
Oh my
salt?
god.
Where's the salt? Oh, dear. Never mind. Somebody else
Why
say
do you
something.
do this?
I don't know.
Man, now we're all hosed.
Oh, dear. I hope
How
not.
was your week, Joe?
Well, my week was pretty it was okay. I watched something that I'm not super happy about, which we will
I
probably
know.
talk about.
Ugh, yeah.
It was okay. My week was good though. Other than that, everything was good. Everything was cool.
Good.
Cool, good.
Yeah,
Very
good.
good.
Cool and good.
How about you, Beth? Just the dog still?
Yeah, luckily he's doing better. So,
Oh,
I
okay.
have a recheck tomorrow after work, so hopefully
Ah.
they'll just be like, "He looks great." And I'll be like, and my wallet will go,
Yeah.
but God knows he's worth every penny. So,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't change him for the world.
Good.
I would make it so that he didn't get like gross abscess elbow and stuff, because that sucked for everybody, but poor guy.
Poor dude.
But other than that,
Other
Poor
than
dog.
that. Well, we had one person comment on the question for last week. So
What was the question for last week? If you could remind people, maybe.
it was well, we'll get to it when we get down
Okay.
there.
All right.
It's-
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll
because
get
it's
to
not way down there and have to like scroll and stuff. I can't remember the question. It was a Batman question and the Joker. Oh yeah. Joker. True or false? The Batman in the movie Batman in 1989. The Joker was played by Denzel Washington. So
That was the
Right.
trivia question.
that was the trivia question. I
Got
can't
it.
believe I remembered it. I didn't even scroll down.
good job, man.
Woohoo! All right. And then I have another Batman question for everybody.
Cool.
I don't know why I felt like that was the theme I needed to go with.
I'm not sure either, but let's go with it.
Yeah, let's go with it. We're going to talk about Joe Pesci films. No box office numbers, because what's in the box office anyway?
Apparently, Tom and Jerry.
All right. Oh, yeah, I didn't watch that.
I heard about that. I heard there's some controversy with that.
Oh,
Was
really?
there? Ooh.
I didn't hear about that. All I heard was I had Hell's Kitchen paused and Xfinity shoots news past when things are paused. And it said, Tom and Jerry net so much money in the box office. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when you have two movies in the box office.
Yeah, right?
Movies like Tom and Jerry win.
So what was the controversy? Do you remember? Do you know?
I kind of heard it like third party. It was a podcast that Crackhead Blue was listening to, and I guess just like there was no need for that movie essentially, and then
Well, I mean, there were really no. Here's something controversial. There was really no need for that cartoon, ever. Like, I didn't think it was worth watching back then. So,
okay, well,
controversial.
yeah, I mean Tom and Jerry's an iconic cartoon, but
I understand that.
I
That's what I
don't-
said.
yeah,
Controversial.
iconic, controversial. Yeah, what you said is controversial. Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess they took liberties as studios do, and I guess the person that Crackhead Blue was listening to took exception to that.
I see.
And yeah, it seems like silly. Like who did they market it to, for one? Two, like
Right?
Tom and Jerry was mega violent back in the day,
Yeah,
but it didn't matter back then because it was
back then.
cartoon animals, and yeah, back then that's the
Like
best way to
Looney
put it.
Tunes, everybody
Yeah.
was dropping on anvils.
Dude,
and
yeah.
on
Wile E.
dudes'
Coyote
heads
was
and-
going off a cliff 3 times an episode.
all
Yep,
the time.
yep.
Blown up, strapped to a big old rocket like he was a Mythbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
So
I don't.
there you
I don't
go.
have any. I don't have any concrete to back up that statement.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna
Got it.
retract it.
I meant to put it in my eyes this week, but I didn't get a chance to, or this weekend. So, I'll try and watch it. It's on HBO Max, so we
It
can
sure
all
is.
check it out. I mean, another one that's coming out. I think you could watch it now if you wanted to on the Paramount. I'm sorry, CBS All Access.
Yeah, which one is it currently?
It's at the moment CBS All Access.
Okay.
But SpongeBob.
Oh, really? See, I'll
Yeah.
watch that.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, if
Terrible
there's
person.
anything that probably doesn't need to be released, Tom and Jerry, and well, we'll see. Well, I don't know that I still haven't even put the other the 3D SpongeBob. I haven't even
yeah.
watched that yet.
Okay, let me clarify because now I feel like a dick.
Ah,
I just had no. Tom and Jerry didn't do anything for me.
yeah.
Like so I would not watch it all the time
Well-
because it didn't capture my interest at all.
Well, I mean,
So that's why I don't care for Tom and Jerry.
I see what it is. Like Tom and Jerry, it's like domestic violence. They're all in their home, and it's how it goes.
Well,
Versus,
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that because Joe is saying that Tom and Jerry is iconic, which is true. They are like
right.
top echelon of classic cartoon
For
characters.
Sure. For sure.
But I just never felt the pull to watch it repeatedly.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So
Right.
Not
that is
everybody
my controversial thing. Is
Right.
that I
Not
just
everybody
didn't-
likes everything.
Yeah.
I-
so
And to me, I feel like I only watched it because it was there. It was on at the time. I probably would have not watched it I wouldn't have like gone seeking for it.
right.
But yeah, versus like Wile E. Coyote, who's in the woods, or not the woods, but in the
desert.
the wilds of the desert. But then Sylvester and Tweety.
And Tweety. I was just more of a Looney Tunes girl.
Yeah, I could see that. And Tom and Jerry was far from Looney Tunes.
Well,
But
who,
I mean,
who
they
did
weren't
Tom
that
and Jerry?
zany.
That wasn't
I
Hanna-Barbera, was
I'm
it?
trying to think of it actually.
I'm gonna Google.
I thought it was
I'm gonna Google it.
Hanna-Barbera. But they were
I was
definitely not Looney.
No, they weren't Looney Tunes. I don't. Ah, man. That's going to bother me till you figure it out.
Okay, just a second.
We will find out who made. Well, I mean, in this case, it's what is it?
Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MGM.
Yeah.
MGM.
There you go.
Migum.
Check that out though. Tom and Jerry cartoon was originally created by animators William Hanna and Joseph Barbera for Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
There you go. So they
So they
are
were
a
Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera, but
Yep.
MGM bought them or whatever.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. Very
Okay.
cool. Well, in other news, it looks like March 5th is when CBS All Access turns into Paramount Plus.
Okay. Everything's got to have a plus now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they figured that out. Like they say, Paramount is bigger than CBS, so let's make it a Paramount thing. We'll
Yeah,
have
but like you can't just call Disney Plus D Plus now because now there's Discovery Plus and
right. Yeah.
it's just frustrating to me because I like to abbreviate things in goofy ways.
But see, what I love about Paramount Plus is now they
Mm-hmm.
can say they have mountains of entertainment. Have you seen that commercial? Because it's hilarious.
I have not, but let me just say that makes sense that is what you would like about that.
I can't help that.
He's like, ooh, a goofy joke.
Yep.
Sold.
Goofy. Oh well. So one other thing in the news that I have there's no. There's one more. There's another thing.
Okay.
There's two more things. Okay, one, first of all, San Diego Comic-Con is going to be virtual this year. Who knew, right?
Everybody.
Yeah. So there's a free 3-day Comic-Con at home virtual event.
What?
I
This
know.
will be the closest I ever get to Comic-Con. Sadly.
Yes.
There you
And
go.
it's July hold on. Yeah, July 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, so that's
So-
right before Gish generally is.
And I was like, I could swear I had that, but apparently when I copied it, it was in white. And so I didn't
Oh.
change the letters, and I'm like, wait a minute, where's this
I know I wrote
note?
something about that. I hate it when that happens.
Curses.
There's
my
my copy
goodness.
pasting.
Yeah. Okay, last one. We have one more episode of WandaVision, everybody.
Oh.
Yep, this Friday.
How many are there total?
There's 9 altogether.
Okay.
Awkward.
And so this last one is the number 9, and it's the last one. And when I say that, I also mean there's no second season.
Oh, it's just the end.
It's the end. It's in fact the creators were like, well, we kind of want it to be like the movies. So you get the beginning, middle, and end, and then it's the end, with no thought to we're gonna have a sequel. And I'm thinking, no way did you ever think there wouldn't be a
Ever.
sequel to any of
To
these,
any of these Marvel movies.
right? And
They're made in groups of 3. They're
I mean,
like
they're-
triplets.
Yeah, they're written in a way to.
yeah, so. I don't know. We haven't seen the last one yet because obviously it's not out until Friday.
Right.
But it was good. Like that's why I was so frustrated at the beginning. It was so good that I was just sort of I can't wait for the next one. And when it's done, I'm going to have to binge watch the whole thing again.
Well, yeah. That
'Cause-
way you can moosh it all together and
Yeah.
figure out the stuff that you missed.
Exactly. So it was very well done. I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it.
I hear good things.
Yeah. So check it out. I think this week. So I give my go ahead. I mean, I did before, but now for sure.
But now it's over, so we can watch it.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Well, almost over.
This
It
week,
will
this Friday,
be
right?
over.
It will be
Yes.
over. So we'll get to talk about that. We get to talk about The Stand, right?
Yeah. Whenever you want to talk about the WandaVision episode, or whenever that episode is, I might have to dip out for that segment.
Because you haven't watched it yet. You're
And I don't
probably
really-
not going to get it this weekend.
I'm not gonna get to it this week for sure.
No, that's okay. I mean, I probably won't talk about it too much until you've seen it, I guess. And whenever that is when it is. And I don't want to do any spoilers or anything on that.
Okay.
Although everything online is spoiling it. I mean,
Yeah.
I look around and people are talking about it, especially because they bring up some things that are like, huh? What's that? And you have to like research it and go, why did they do that? What does that even mean?
I don't understand this. Let me brain it out.
Yeah.
With
Like
the help of the hive mind of the intranets.
Exactly.
But do you think it's things that people may know already? Like if they read the comics and they
Yes.
lore
People
and
know
stuff like
this
that?
stuff already. Yeah.
know? Okay.
So, and that's why we research it. Like, I don't know all the comics for these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, ask me about the Fantastic Four, and I've got this. But ask me about the X-Men or any of these other people.
You're not a super marvelly dude.
Yeah, not like that. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, I guess I was one of the oddball ones. I like Quasar instead, and
No, everybody likes different stuff.
That's
That's
true.
why the world is interesting.
The
Yeah.
variety.
bingo. So one more show. No plan for more, even though the fans are begging for it. They're like, "Give it to me! I want
But-
more."
My understanding is it's supposed to be kind of like some fill-in to connect some things. It doesn't need to
Yeah.
have 60 seasons and go on forever, right?
Right.
Correct.
So,
It's
Alright.
just grout.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
grout for the larger tiles that are the big movies.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There
Well,
it
and
is.
that's all the news that I have. I don't know.
I
I don't
watched
have
that
any either.
Kong versus Godzilla trailer again. It's just amusing to me.
Oh yes.
And that was news. That's how the week is going.
That's
that
how
is
the
news.
week is going.
That's that's
I watched the trailer again and I went,
and I
And,
giggled.
and Tyler chimed in on that.
yeah.
And I'm trying. I can't remember what he said. I think he said King Kong, or was it Godzilla? Which one was it? Ugh. Now I don't remember. It was so long ago. This is what happens when we have 2 weeks off or a week off. It's just
So
like,
long.
such a long
It's
time
so
ago.
long I forgot the taste of strawberries.
Oh dear.
Okay, so story divergence here. My uncle and several of my family members and I all went to see Return of the King together in the theater. And by the end of all of the endings, my uncle said that movie was so long I forgot the taste of strawberries.
like just randomly.
Well, because in one of the many endings, Sam is talking to Half Dead Frodo, and he's like, "Do you
Oh,
remember the
right,
taste of strawberries,
right,
Mr.
right,
Frodo?"
right.
So,
Mr. Frodo. That was
So-
I always got a kick out of that.
now a lot of the time, if something is really long, we'll just say, "Oof, that was so long, I forgot the taste of strawberries."
That's good.
Definitely.
Sorry to interrupt and tell a
No,
long,
no,
goofy
that's-
story,
No,
but
that's a great story. That's a great story. Could be a title. Like,
so long, I forgot that digression was so long, I forgot the taste of strawberries.
That
I-
title's so long I forgot the taste of strawberries.
right?
Super
Yeah.
true, accurate, and apt.
That could happen. I think we had an episode where we talked about like titles that are so long.
Super long, yeah.
Yeah. So
We usually do.
we do. Contact info. Yes, so if you have any news you think we should talk about, send it to us. 512 podcast is our phone number. It's 512-763-2278. You'll find our website pretty convenient at tfwmovies.com. And there we have our email address, shout out at tfwmovies.com. I gotta get something. I want to have another one of those giveaways. I gotta get something.
Okay.
I'll figure that out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Where will you find us? At TFW Movies.
Where will you find us? Who knows?
Who knows?
Sorry,
Somewhere
it just,
out there.
But
it just
I-
felt really exciting the way you did that.
Yes. Oh, but the exciting part is that if you hit hashtag TFW Movies, you find us instantly. But thanks for
Instantly.
watching. We're like
Instantly.
amidst everything that's thanks for watching.
Oh.
Yeah, which is like you could like the squirrel like getting nuts off of a tree. Thanks for watching. I mean, we're like under that somewhere on page 20. I don't even know. I don't even know. Although I'd imagine if you accompanied thanks for watching with podcast, you might find us.
Likely.
Likely. There you go. Here I am telling you how to find us when you already know because you're listening.
Because you're listening to us currently.
Sorry, moving on. Patreon, that's it. Patreon.com/TFW movies. That's Patreon.com. In case you need to know how that's spelled.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case it hasn't been, just pounded into your brain for a bazillion years
If you've been listening for 134 million thousand episodes, you should have that committed to memory by now. And if you're not, I'm going to come visit you and make sure it is.
Yeah, and there are a lot of creators on there,
Also
not just
not true.
us. There are a ton of creators.
On the internet, you're right.
On the internet and on Patreon. Maybe you'll find your other favorite creators on there. So, like
There are a lot of Patreon.
That's right. 29 Toes is on there. Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't listened to their latest episode. I needed to listen to that.
Did they put out a new one?
They did. Well, sort of.
My account didn't
so
get a notification.
They had
for
a
that.
little snafu.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
So
they're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot. I need to just send them an email so they'll email it to me so I can just listen to it before everyone else.
Oh, DJ's a hipster. He listened to this episode before it was cool.
Before it was cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So this actor was born in 1943 in Newark, New Jersey.
That sounds right.
His mama was a part-time barber, and his daddy was a bartender and a forklift driver. I want to do that. I have not done that either. That sounds like fun, actually.
You gotta get certified.
Yes. This Oscar winner retired from acting in 1999,
Oh.
but he'll still do some films like as cameos or really tiny parts.
And sometimes he apparently likes to sing.
Yes, there was a time when he was a singer and he had a different...
He released one in 2019. It was not that long ago.
an album?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. When you said 19, I didn't realize it was 2019.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't 1919.
Oh, I mean, I thought she just didn't put 1980 something or 1990
No.
Got it. Okay, well, that's fascinating. Okay, that's even more interesting. Anyway, that actor is Joe Pesci, everybody.
Yep. If you want to hear some amusing musics,
now does
go ahead and Google it.
Does he
Is it like
still
show
use
tunes?
Joe Ricci?
No, and so the first one he used the other name,
Joe Ricci.
and it's called like Little Joe Sure Can Sing.
Yes, yes.
And then the second one is by far my favorite. And the title of the second album is Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just For You.
Vincent LaGuardia Gambini.
Which is, of course, the character from My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
That
That's
he
so
yeah.
great.
I know, and that's why I keep laughing every time I look at it. It's so funny.
I might have to
dear,
listen
dear.
to that.
It's like it's Italian gangsta musics. And then
Mob stuff, huh? Mob stuff.
yeah, the third one, which came out in 2019, is called Still Singing.
Still sing.
So
Singing.
he's not acting anymore, but he sure is singing.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well, and
That's my favorite thing.
He was nominated for an Oscar for something he did in 2020. So, and I don't even. I'm sure it was not like a. What is
It was likely.
Was he an Irishman?
He
Yes,
was in The
yes,
Irishman.
it was the
So it's
Irishman.
got to be for that.
Yes. So.
Last name was Buffalino in that movie. Sorry,
Did that come out in 2020?
2019.
Okay.
But if it was at the right part of 2019,
As the right Pat.
yeah, the right
Yeah.
pat.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, anyhow, I guess I can get to this Crackhead Blues list.
Let's do it.
Let's
Here we
hear it.
go. My cousin Vinny.
Brilliant.
That is brilliant. And Home. I'm guessing this is Home Alone 1 and 2.
That would be my guess also.
Yes. She wrote Home, so I'm guessing that's Home Alone.
Oh, texting.
I know, texting.
You know what? Autocorrect. We're never
right.
saying ducking. Never.
Never.
No one is ever saying ducking.
Ducking?
I'm just saying.
What are you texting, Beth? Yikes.
Uh-huh.
I swear a lot, Joe.
I know it.
Surprise.
Surprise. I am not surprised.
No.
Don't
You
be.
oughtn't be. You've known
Yeah.
me for a while.
I know you by now. Yep. I'm never saying ducking either. Let's just be honest.
Right? There it is.
All right.
Sorry,
Oh,
go
yes.
ahead. Who
All
else is
right.
or what else is on Blue's list?
Well, that's it on Blue's list. She's
okay.
she doesn't really watch monster movies. so
Yeah,
she's
she
not-
doesn't. So the genre that Joe Pesci is most known for,
The monster
she's not.
movies.
Yeah, she's not really into it. So.
I just realized what I said.
Yeah,
But
that's okay.
that's the
What
thing.
did you
Her
say? Did you say
autocorrect.
monster
He
movies?
said monster movies.
It said
Oh.
monster movies. I'm guessing. Oh, it autocorrect changed that. It meant mobster.
I'm not
Right.
really into monster movies, so you know, Frankenstein, the
there's
Mummy,
that.
Joe
Yeah.
Pesci, Godzilla.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
That's
goodness.
hilarious.
That was awesome.
Good time. Good time.
Good times.
Perfect.
Yay. Okay, so James, he texts in. He says Joe Pesci is one of the most iconic actors that actually has a range of acting, though known only for one or two roles. For me, first hitting my radar in Home Alone. That's not where he hit
Okay.
my radar. But we'll talk about that. Then
Did you get his insurance information?
no. I
You
was
hit
selling,
my radar.
I was selling car warranties at the time. No.
Perfect.
No, I think right before Home Alone, he did Lethal Weapon 2, right? Was that
Yeah.
right before?
No,
So-
it was after. Wasn't
That
it?
was well after Home Alone. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Then Home Alone
So
was when I
Home
noticed him
Alone-
too. So that's cool.
Home Alone
We're on the
was
same
in
page.
1990, and Lethal Weapon 2 was before that.
Really?
That's what I thought. I was thinking of that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
1989. So by like 6 months.
Yeah,
Oh.
by a few months. Exactly.
Just a few months. No big deal.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
by long.
Says so. He adds then the classic My Cousin Vinny. Still love rewatching that one. Lethal
It's
Weapon, as he starred as a side character, but then was in all of the other movies.
You get effed in the drive-through.
Yes, yes. I think he stole the show on that.
He was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't think
Whatever
Lethal.
you want, Leo gets.
Yes, I don't think Lethal Weapon 2 would have been as good without him. I really don't think. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
He demonstrated great comic timing and hit a warm note with Gone Fishing. I love that movie.
Ah,
And
think I've
really
ever seen
pulled at my heart with
Danny Glover.
honors. Yeah, with Danny Glover. Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But he is most known for the brutal savagery of Casino and Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. Says different roles and characters, but let's be real. It's the same character.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Playing Joe Pesci.
Yeah. It says side trivia. I also remember that he loved that I loved him in the 80s and 90s movies. Movie stars tried their hand at music. So Joe Pesci was no different with his rap single "Wise Guy." Oddly catchy. It's still on YouTube. He says.
Oh no.
Wise Guy, I gotta hear this. This is awesome. So, if you haven't
you don't
seen it,
gotta hear it.
well, I feel like I gotta. As always, thank you for making this podcast and have a wonderful night. Have fun. So there,
Hey, you're welcome for making this podcast, bud.
yeah,
Thank you for
absolutely. I have a lot of fun with it. I think we all do. Wise guy. I feel like maybe I have heard that back in the day. I think it sounds good. Now I'm gonna have to listen to it. Cool. Thank you, James. That's awesome. TikTok group. Here we are. We had two from the TikTok group. Here he is. He says. He says. Let me
Okay,
read
who's
some
He
more.
writes.
He writes. At Mo_the Prof HJ. She writes, he and Marissa Tomei made my cousin my cousin Vinny.
A monster movie.
Yes, a monster movie. But
Oh no.
my hand-down favorite is With Honors.
It's a good movie.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm looking for one more. Had it up a second ago. Why did it disappear on me? Here we are. These things happen. Okay. Second one. At the Archfiend.
Good.
Thank you. Home Alone. There it is. That's the TikTok group, and that's all I have. That's all I have.
That's
it?
Oh,
Oh, okay. Good.
yeah.
I mean, that's usually there's a ton more, but yeah, maybe
Yeah.
they're not
Well-
they're not Joe Pesci fans.
Maybe.
Or maybe DJ forgot to say something because it was 100 years between our shows.
That's
Right.
true.
I probably should have done a follow-up like last Wednesday and said, "Hey guys, just what? We didn't do it. We didn't do it. So tell me again."
I like how
Maybe.
you did it on the Marco Polo. You're just like, hey, did you do your thing?
Yeah.
We're going to be on in 3 hours.
Yeah. That's true. Good point. All right, here's my list. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Born ready.
All right. Lethal Weapon 2.
Whew.
Gone Fishing. 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag.
Yep.
Home Alone.
Yep.
And My Cousin Vinny.
Such a great movie. I love My Cousin Vinny.
Yes, absolutely. Beth, what have you got?
So I only have 3. Because I don't know, for some reason these 3 really happed out at me. And that would be Home Alone, My Cousin Vinny, which is great. And then I really like JFK for some reason.
Oh,
I mean, it is
That's right.
so long, but it's a pretty good movie. I mean, it's not super accurate,
you know.
but you're watching a movie for entertainment. You're not necessarily watching a movie for historical accuracy. Sometimes you are. This is not one to do that to.
Definitely.
But I enjoy it. I'll watch I'll sit down for the long haul once in a while.
Yay.
I like JFK. How about you, Joe?
I'm gonna go with Goodfellas
Good.
/ Casino.
Oh,
Because-
because yeah.
Here's why. I'm disagreeing with the previous person who said that let's be real, it's the same character, because it's definitely not. And I'm not just saying it just because they have different names and it's different movies, but like there's differences between the two of them. But
Subtle differences. Okay.
when I saw those movies, I was young and often confused what parts went with what movies,
Oh,
if that makes sense.
okay.
Oh.
So that may speak to the point that maybe it is the same character, but whatever.
Not
So I'm gonna
helping
go
you
with
the
that.
case.
Yeah, I'm not really helping the case. My Cousin Vinny is gonna be the second one, and Home Alone, man. I mean,
Yeah.
So
it's
good.
just it's so good.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, absolutely good. Excellent. Excellent.
That's it.
I'm gonna get you, kid.
just the okay. So let's be real for a second. Those two guys would be so dead.
Yes.
There's so many things that are physically just
Marvin Harry, yeah, for sure.
demolishing about that movie.
Like just the first couple knocks that they took would have been like,
Yeah.
yo,
Ooh,
I'm out of here.
You're
I'm not
done,
doing-
man.
I'm not doing this. Call an ambulance, please.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't have even gone any further if I stepped on a nail like he did. Oh my goodness.
But we're not even like I'm talking about the skull fractures and the
Yeah.
internal bleeding and just the lack of teeth and
Yes. Watch out for
So-
those paint cans.
oof.
Yeah, that would
And
have put
then
you
the
out of
big
commission.
pipe that
Out of
gets them
commission.
both, and then they fly off the
Yes.
stairs and land on their back.
Yeah, that's broken bones.
Yeah,
and-
they've
Oh.
both gotten to that point where you can go to sleep and wake up hurt. So, you know, you know that flying, down 10 stairs and landing hard on a hardwood floor on your back isn't doing them any good.
Yeah.
all in a day's work, Beth.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're one of the wet bandits.
When you're a wet bandit, that's what you sign up for. Yep.
That's how it
Great.
goes.
I want to know how many stunt doubles they went through. Well, they lost one here.
Well, he's deed. So, whoops.
He's deed.
He's deed.
Oh dear.
All right. So,
Speaking of dead, let's talk about this film that we watched.
Oh,
so
man.
ladies and gentlemen, what happened was this. I was told to pick a movie with a number in the title.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of the movies that I wanted were either not streaming or technically other letters. So when DJ got in the Marco Polo and was like, hey, Beth, hurry up and pick one,
Yeah, he often does that.
as he does, I just went on Amazon and looked up numbers, and I came up with 10.0 Earthquake,
Oof.
Yeah.
which is just a hot, wet dumpster fire of a
What
film.
a stinker.
Oh my gosh.
The best part about it was I absolutely knew it was going to be. I
Yeah.
saw the cover and I went, ooh, that's
That's
going to
it.
be poop. We'll
That's
watch
the one.
that one.
Yeah.
Not realizing at the time that we pick our next actor for the actor list from
Based-
the movie
yep.
that we have watched this week. So
Yep.
we have, like two choices, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about that later.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's hear what you guys thought, because you know that I sit around and that day I watched like 4 other garbage movies. So I'll tell you about them and the things I watched. So go
Yes.
ahead and give me your opinion of 10.0 Garbage Quake.
What do you think, Joe?
Well, the acting, bad. The plot,
Uh-huh.
worse.
Bad, yeah.
Um,
It was the fracking.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I like
gosh.
how they put some, like, at least when Dead Don't Die and they made fun of fracking, it was funny. Like,
Yeah.
this was just like,
Yeah, well, Dead
on,
Don't
guys.
Die is a quality film.
yes, yes.
10.0 Earthquake is like someone scraped together all the clippings off of
Yeah.
the floor of San Andreas and some other movie about science
Yeah.
and teenagers
It was
and,
so
and made
bad.
it into a movie.
And teenagers you wanted to die. Like,
Oh my god.
Well,
like
just-
the bully. That guy was a
Which
jerk.
one?
Not
Well,
the
the one
rapist.
who-
Well, he
Yeah.
was bad too.
Both the popular guys were mega douchebags.
yeah, they're douche
Awful.
canoe supremes. And
Awful.
like when the one guy was hanging on to the truck,
Yes.
How did he get there?
I'm like,
fell through
he
the
didn't have, he
window.
wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He went
Yeah.
through the windshield.
Oh, see? Choices,
they-
ladies and gentlemen. Wear your
But
seatbelt.
they showed the hole in the windshield that he was supposed to have gone through.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably
And, like, the-
blinked.
It was just so small. Like
Yeah,
a human
it
did
was
not go
tiny.
through that hole.
Yeah.
But I just chalk it up to the movie being terrible.
Yeah, just garbage.
he was a jerk.
He
Oh,
was
and
a
then like
butthole.
when they were trying to get the strap out to him to grab and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
'cause
I'm just
that'll
like, dude,
work.
this is so bad.
The
And-
choices in this
Ugh.
it was so
yes, bad
awful
choices. Yes.
And then the Irish dad or Scottish dad or whatever
Yeah.
he was, who was like, he went down there with his buddy and the way that his buddy his boss, I guess. Mm-hmm. The way that sacrifice, dude, the 3D was so terrible.
So bad.
Oh yeah.
He's
Those
actually Peruvian. How odd.
Okay, what a weird accent he had.
Yeah, I have always thought that he was Scottish/Irish.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, the cracks in the ground that they were like jumping over and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, like
Oh,
that was a
gosh.
prime combo of garbage special effects and
Oh.
trash acting.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When,
was
when
so
they were
good.
when they were trying to drive away, like they were trying to drive past, what in the gutter? Not the gutter, whatever the wash
Yeah.
in the truck, and all of a sudden the phone goes into the back of the truck, and I'm like, so that is what your suspense driving is? You have to go get the phone?
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Oh, and then the cracks in the cement
man.
that
Yeah.
you're running from, but. And the fact that you don't feel the cracks as you're walking.
Yeah, there's a scene where one of the girls was walking at the gas station, and the crack was literally like right behind her, like very Jaws-esque or like
It was
some kind of
chasing
horror
her.
movie. Yeah, and she's just walking like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
The one I liked was when the kids drove away. Was it when the kids drove away? Or I can't
Yeah.
remember if it was the kid or the dad's. And the street behind him, like, literally opened up. And they just have these neighbors standing in the street, like, looking, oh, the crack.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, like, not just
Make-
stand there and
make
look
like
at
a
it
tree
in
and
your
leave? Yeah.
bathrobe like a
Yeah.
dumb bunny?
Make like a tree and get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it called to mind the always a better film, Independence Day, when all the neighbors are leaving and Will Smith is like, "Hey, a little shaken, they're running."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Apparently,
'cause he
these
thinks it's
people
just a little
felt
earthquake.
the same way because they're
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, the ground has opened up. I can see the core, the molten core of the Earth. I guess I ought to just look at it until it gets bigger." Good
Yeah,
call,
that was
guys,
weird
good
too.
call.
Like the magma was that close to the surface. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's just a lot.
It's
a
very
lot
close.
going
There's
on
no
here.
such thing as sewer lines anywhere around.
There's a lot going on here.
Oh.
The scene where the one rapey bully died, the
Yeah.
way he died.
Oh yeah, the awkward. Yeah, okay.
All of that leading up to that was just like, that's not how any of that goes. Like,
No.
yeah,
not at all.
exactly.
And you know what gun owner will sit his gun on a rock like that?
Oh, oh my god.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that
The
guy.
hunter. Okay, so my mom and I are watching the movie. The hunter, the dog alerts that badness is about to happen.
Yes.
And unlike every other disaster movie ever, the guy goes, "Oh, hey, it's okay, buddy." Instead of like, "Shut up, you damn dog," which is what
Yeah.
everybody else does in the movies.
Yeah.
And he's like petting the dog to make it feel better and pays the ultimate price.
Yeah. Oh man.
And can I just say,
Oh, so
in
bad.
this film, it has mentioned that when a dog poops, he only poops facing north.
Okay, I don't think that's true.
As someone who watches dogs poop several times a day, myth
My
busted,
dog,
guys. Myth busted.
yeah,
Let's clarify. He didn't say faces north. He said faces a cardinal direction.
well, okay.
As
pretty
someone
sure,
who
right?
watches dogs poop
Yeah.
several times a day, myth busted.
I just watched my dog poop today. She did not face a cardinal direction.
I'm not saying that I have a compass and I'm just like, let's check. But the general orientation of dogs as they poop is always in a different direction. That's why they turn around 500 times.
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
turn
gotta get
6
it right.
Either
Egon
this is-
lately has taken to like doing this weird like karate chop thing before he poops. You never know what direction he's gonna go in. It's madness.
Yeah. I was like, my dog's sense of direction is off. If that was the case, I'm like, how? No. Okay, Miko. Sorry, you.
Yeah,
That's not
just
the. Never mind.
Sometime the century guy,
Yes,
peppy
yes.
person.
And you'd think in our backyard that she'd have it down, but no.
No, she's got to pick the right way, and it's probably not a cardinal direction.
No, definitely not. Definitely.
The other reason that I picked this movie was the Amazon reviews are glorious.
Oh,
that
you
always
should
makes
bring
me
one
laugh.
up and read it right now.
That's
I
what
think,
I'm doing. I'm trying to find a real good one.
Oh yeah, because I would love to hear one of those Amazon reviews.
Okay, here we
Man.
go. This is absolutely not a family film.
No,
1 star. I hate this movie. It's a verified purchase. She paid to watch this movie.
Oh, no.
I hate this movie. There is so much inappropriate content that could have been left out. I'm sitting here shaking my head in disgust. The malice and arguments were redundant and tiresome. That was your problem with it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
right?
good.
Well, it's not a family film either.
No, not even a little bit. Best actor award goes to the dog. No joke. The best actor in this movie is the dog. I like disaster movies, but seeing this movie was from 2014, you really expect to get more. Graphics of cracks in the earth forming were actually pretty good, but since there are fake
What?
reviews giving this movie 5 stars and are clearly bogus, I felt I had to lower my rating from 2 to 1 with hope that it will impact and reduce the overall rating.
Thank you for your service, sir.
oh my goodness.
The
Scenes
cracks
that
in the
could've-
ground looked pretty good. What
I
was he
didn't.
watching?
Wow.
Scenes that should have been cut shouldn't have been written into the script, really. Made the movie even worse. The movie nearly seemed like one of those farce movies from the late 70s, early 80s. Also the 90s. He mentions Lloyd Bridges, who was in a number of those, but also Mafia, which was in the 90s. You almost expect Lloyd Bridges to appear in a scene, except that it was in 2014 and he had already sadly passed. I don't expect my opinion to change anyone's mind, but if I can keep just a handful of people from watching it, you can thank me for giving you back the time you would have wasted.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's pretty funny. I was like, this is going to be awful. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, you picked a good one.
Yeah. That
Yep,
was, that
so,
was awful. Yeah.
overall, guys, what would you rate it?
It gets a rating.
Yeah, you rate it.
We rate everything we watch.
Oh. God.
You go ahead, DJ.
Oh. 2.
Good.
Wow. Okay.
I would have, yeah.
Yeah,
What about
I'm
you,
about
Joe?
there. I'm about there. I had a 2.
Oh.
I will give it a 4. No, I will give it a 3.
Okay.
I will
That's
give it
better.
a 3 because I like crap movies,
Yeah.
and this is a pretty epic crap movie.
Oh, well,
So-
it made me angry. If it wasn't that, I would
It
have given
made
it.
you angry? I don't think I've ever seen DJ
The
angry.
bully pissed me off, and so
Oh,
did
he
the
was
rapist.
a dick, yeah. Well,
That was- That was. Just,
I appreciate that as a woman, that would piss you off.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It was awful.
it was the worst. I mean,
So
even-
I'll go ahead and drop it to a 2 because that is, yeah, I'll give you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they wanted you to not like these two guys. So
Well,
of
you
course
could,
they're gonna make
there's
them
like
pieces
things
of
that you
crap,
can
but-
do without stooping to bathroom rape at a diner.
I agree. I think that if those two characters were less mean,
What I thought was really interesting was that afterwards she was like, I don't know, maybe I don't like him so much.
Yeah, like I would have. Yeah.
Not like,
not at all.
how about you go camping, I will stay here and call my father.
bingo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get picked
exactly.
I do not need to go into the wilderness with someone who tried to,
Yeah,
slip me the situation in a bathroom at a diner.
yeah.
Slip me the situation.
That's it.
I was going to say
just-
something way worse, but I decided to be nice about it.
Self censor. Got
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aren't you proud?
it. Yeah, man. Good job.
So ultimately, definitely watch 10.0 Earthquake. Don't.
Trigger
lesson we can
warning.
learn
Just
here
know
is-
there are some
Yeah,
triggers. So
it's awful. Like, even for a bad movie. And I have a number of those because I watched that with my mom and then we watched 3 others, because we were in a mood. So if you guys are done, I'll move on to things that I put in my eyes.
Yes.
wait.
Okay.
Because I know we don't really normally do this here, but the actor from that.
I'm going to...
Who do
you
we
wanna-
want? I was thinking Jeffrey Jones.
That was also what we were thinking.
Funny for this, I had written trigger warning, abusive, rape, and verbal abuse, and the hunter scene. I really wanted to get those out for that last movie. For some reason it's under your name, Beth, and I don't know why.
Because you were throwing things as fast
guess
as you
so.
could into the notes.
I
You just
was.
clicked and started typing.
Yep. Basically, yeah. Like,
So.
oh my gosh. Okay,
Wait a
so
minute, DJ never does that.
yeah,
Okay, so you ready now?
yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So, my mother and I became epic couch potatoes on the day that we watched 10.0 Earthquake because we followed it up with a horrible film called 500 Mile Per Hour Storm, which is so bad.
That just sounds amazing.
I recommend if you enjoy watching crap movies.
I
this
do
is a good
from
one.
time to time.
Casper Van Dien is in this movie.
Okay.
And he's like the weatherman who used to be like an army man. So he's a super double badass, but he's also like super smart about clouds. And his son, I swear to God, they wrote this character as like an 8-year-old. And then they realized they can't put an 8-year-old in this kind of peril unsupervised. So they're like, oh, make him a teenager. But they didn't change anything in the script.
Oh.
So he's just like a whiny 8-year-old in a teenager body.
Oh, that
Which-
would drive me
Oh,
nuts.
nice.
My mom and I were very frustrated with him. And it was very amusing because they'd
Sounds like a good kid.
yeah, he's great. Like looked up to and emulated. The movie I can't remember because it was 2 weeks ago and it was in a dumpster fire parade. But for some reason, I can't remember what started the big storm. Oh, they have a big machine that they're like shooting a laser into the sky. Of course, could never be a problem.
Yeah, why I don't see the problem.
And it affects the weather, and then there's tornadoes all over the place. So, of course, the best thing you do is you go to the top of a mountain because tornadoes can't get you on the top of a mountain until they do. And it's very windy, and there's always like rain, but it's a B movie, so the clouds there or the sky is cloudless until the CG clouds roll in. It's bad. It's probably the worst. No.
I mean, sounds great so far. Everything you
Yeah.
described.
I'm going to go ahead and say this one was the worst of the day.
Worse
wow.
than 10.0.
Worse than 10.0,
No,
guys.
no.
Wow.
Come on.
I
come
fully
on.
invite you to watch it. And,
Be real with
and
me. Come on.
Was
I'm super real.
oh wow.
I'm super real.
You know,
The realist.
but you reminded me by one of the tornado things by saying, remember in 10.0 they were talking about sharks flying around.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
parodied.
they
yeah,
totally
they did say
referenced Sharknado.
Yeah.
That. Oh,
Because-
no.
All these movies were made for shitty sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like these are all sci-fi movies, like right up there with Octo Shark and Sharktopus. That's it.
Sharktopus.
So 500 Mile Per Hour Storm, terabad. If you want to waste like an hour and a half of your life, sure, but tell me that it's not worse than 10.0 Earthquake. We
Man,
followed that
that's
up.
a tough order.
We followed that up with 100 Degrees Below Zero, which involves Army Man
Ugh.
driving with his new wife to Paris to get their. They're not teenagers. They're both in college. Kids. And the kids don't necessarily like the new wife because she's not mom.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I think this one was a global warming one. It's sort of like the Day After Tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, it's very Day After Tomorrow reminiscent. There are no wolves.
No wolf scene. I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, so that's a point in its favor.
Yeah, totally.
But they're going to get the kids, and there's like a volcano and ice chunks flying out of the sky and killing people. They're
Wow.
in Paris. It's so bizarre. But the best thing about this is my mom and I started counting how many times the main characters fall down. because they physically cannot remain upright. And it's not because the ground is icy, although with the amount of CGI snow, you would think it would be. Or
Just
at least
adds tension.
slushy.
Adds
But-
tension.
Yeah, people steal their coats a lot. Anytime they get some form of transportation, they either crash it or someone steals it. And they fall down
Wow.
a great many times. In a hole, not in a hole, off the tower, just in a tunnel. It's off of a chair in the
Sounds great.
street. So
On the
that
beach?
one's no, there's no. So that one I would say was probably the best one of the day, just because it was so audience participation worthy. So
Okay,
right now
yeah.
it goes 100 degrees below zero, 10.0, and then 500 mile an hour storm. But then we watched the worst one yet, which was not actually worse than 50 mile an hour or 500 mile an hour storm. It's called Ants on a Plane, guys.
No, it's not.
It so
Stop
is.
it. Stop
Ants
it.
on a Google it. Ants on a
Google it.
plane. Would I lie to you?
Are they giant ants?
No! They're little ants. They're little
Wow.
ants, but there are a
God.
whole bunch of them. And there's like all of the disaster movie stereotypes. There's like the air marshal, which I immediately texted my air marshal friend and was like, "Hey, have you ever seen ants on a plane?" And he was like, "Beth, are you drinking?" Like, no. But
Not
yeah,
yet.
it's right.
This movie's gonna drive me to drink.
Might as well have made a drinking game out of it.
Oh.
Incidentally, if I had taken a shot every time the people fell down in 100 degrees below zero, I might have had alcohol poisoning.
Yikes. So we don't recommend that game.
Yeah, don't play that game.
Not in those. Play
So-
under your own risk.
Yeah.
Ants on a Plane, of course, these people are leaving South America, and the mom is a bug doctor. I can't come up with the name of it right now.
Entomologist.
Thank you, entomologist, and she's studying ants. So of course we have
The expert.
Yeah, the cop, the expert, the daughter, the drunk kid who's like a guy. He's like a frat boy.
Oh,
The person who's retiring.
wow.
What?
You get all of them all rolled up into one, and it's the ants are so funny to me.
Does the marshal try to shoot the ants
At one point, I do believe they tried to shoot the ants
on the plane?
on the plane,
In the air?
of course, in the air.
God.
But the major, what's wrong with you? Of course, we shoot a firearm in a plane with pressure. Of course, we do that.
Gosh.
The main gripe of the film is that they're trying to land. We have to land right away. But nobody wants them to land because they
'Cause
have
there's
this
ants.
parasite on board.
Oh wow.
So they're
Whoa.
gonna try to sneak over to this army base.
Are they like special ants or what? Like
Um,
radioactive? Is there some
no,
kind of
they're
thing
not
with them?
radioactive, but the entomologist does say that she feels like they have changed their genetic code somehow.
Oh.
That they are harder to kill. They have to make this fancy like cocktail of science to kill some.
Okay. Okay.
It's not great.
I'm with it so far.
It's
Uh-huh.
not super double great, but it is better than 500 mile per hour storms. So that's something.
That is saying something.
So that was my list of garbage movies.
Did you
Good
have any
stuff.
fun stuff?
I really enjoyed it. My mother and I had a great day.
Ah, good.
Super
All that
fun.
matters.
That is all that matters. And now I can share it with you, and you guys can know that if you want to watch a really bad movie, here are 4 of them.
Aha.
Merry Christmas, y'all. I watched other stuff too, but I just monopolized the whole show with crap. So, who's next?
Who's
Who's
next?
next?
Joe.
Well, I finally got caught up with the rest of the gang and finished The Stand
Yay!
yesterday, as a matter of
Good.
fact.
Tell
And
me,
I think, what do you want me to tell you?
tell me, did you like the music at the end of every episode? Wasn't that something?
Inconsequential. As soon as credits come up, I'm on to the next one.
Oh, darn it!
And some of the songs I heard, not really my style, so I just moved past them. But if you enjoyed it, good.
DJ did enjoy the music.
I was in a hurry to get them done, so that's not something.
He was just trying to blaze through so that he would
Yeah.
have it done so we could talk about it.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna have to watch the original miniseries again because my memory either isn't great or there was stuff in there that wasn't in even the book.
Accurate.
Okay.
So I have watched both, and I've recently read the book. So if you have
Okay.
questions,
I want to read the book again.
yeah, it's so good.
Except
Except for this, you know how there's always Stephen King parts where you're just like, oof, therapy guy.
that's
therapy.
every book though.
Yeah, there's not one Stephen King book where you're just like, wow, well adjusted.
There's always something weird in there.
So
I like some of the actors that they chose, but I just feel like the acting wasn't great.
okay,
Like, I like this version of Larry Underwood.
yeah, I liked Larry. I liked this this Larry better than the '90s Larry.
No, I like 94 Larry too, though.
I like this one better. That's all I'm saying.
I love this Tom Cullen.
Oh!
Whoa.
Yeah.
My
he is good.
favorite, best
He
Tom
got-
Cullen.
He got some emotion out of me.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, other Tom Cullen, '90s Tom Cullen, is the voice of Patrick Star in
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
still great. Still
Yeah,
great.
love him.
But
But
this guy, like, man, like I felt things watching his performance. Like,
I
man,
love him so much.
why can't the
fact-
rest of this be this good?
Yeah.
Right?
That was my one.
He
That was my
like,
one complaint.
He was a tent pole for me. I was just like,
Dude, he
Tom
was so
Cullen,
good.
yes. It felt to me like everything was rushed. You'd make 10
Yeah.
episodes, and
Yeah.
they did nothing to make you actually like the characters except for Tom.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing they left out. I don't know if this is spoilers or not.
I
They
think it's
didn't-
okay.
They did not emphasize how important the Nick and Tom connection was.
Absolutely.
That
It
was like so big in the book, and
so big.
even in the miniseries, got more of that in there, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I
And they
expected
barely
more too.
hinted at it with this.
Well, Nick and Tom are a huge dynamic.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the books, they go through so much and they have to learn together and learn to communicate because Tom can't read and Nick can't speak and he only writes.
Right.
And
It's great.
it is. It's vital
They
to the story.
barely touched on. Barely.
They hacked it. I was not happy. I
Yeah.
liked the first episode. I was like, okay, this can be great. And there were things about it that I really signed on for. But I feel like they messed with the timeline too much. I feel like they took most of the likability out of a lot of the characters, which is hard for me to not like James Marsden. I love that man. That's Stu. And I
got
love
it.
the character of Stu.
Yeah.
But here I was just like, there just wasn't enough. It felt
Very
like
pedestrian.
there was nothing to connect to. And that made me sad because this is a huge thing for me. I love The Stand.
Because Gary Sinise's portrayal of Stu, I thought was like, man, you can feel this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. Go ahead, DJ.
I was
sorry.
just gonna say, I think you're right. I feel like it was rushed. Like they for some reason they were racing against something to get this done, and
Well, they really wanted to make something big and sweeping.
Yeah.
And I feel like they spent too much time on things that didn't matter. And
Yeah.
not enough time on the characters, like character development and
and the connections. There's
Yeah.
so many connections that were missed.
seriously.
Yeah.
I was not a big fan of this Harold.
I didn't like this Harold.
Um,
The thing about the Tom Cruise on the mirror did make me laugh.
yeah,
And then it also made me go, ugh.
I think it was supposed to make you go, ugh.
Yeah, I was like,
it made Larry go,
accurate.
So, yeah, I didn't like Harold very much. I was not buying a Skarsgård as Flag. I'm sorry.
See, I don't blame you on that. I
I just
love
couldn't.
Alexander Skarsgård. I love him piles and piles, but this just didn't do it for me. I was excited when I read that he was going to be Flag because I was like, oh my God, this could be amazing. But it seemed really campy. And Flag is a campy character. Like, he says things that you're just like, did he really just say that?
Yeah.
Did he really? Truth tellers just sort of hunker down. The devil says hunker down? Are you kidding me? And he wears a denim tuxedo? Come on.
Yeah, with a happy symbol on it. I mean,
Well, that's in the book, but yeah.
I know, and that's just it. Like, he is kind of campy.
Yeah,
when you read it,
but
Skarsgård, like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. It was not convincing to me.
To me, it wasn't there. I don't mind that his accent poked through a little bit, because that's kind of unavoidable. Certain words, they can't get it all the way all the time.
Yeah.
But, dude, like, I don't know. The original guy was scary.
He was scared. Okay.
Yeah.
And I wasn't scared of this guy.
You gotta wait until you rewatch that. Reserve judgment on that.
Okay.
The scariest thing is like definitely the special effects, but that's beside the point. It was like
Sure, but-
1993 or something.
But even so, like,
But yes, he
still
was
kinda came across
intimidating.
he came across a little more intimidating than Skarsgård did.
And that's what I was telling you about Lloyd, the right hand of the devil.
Yeah, he wasn't such a doofus. I don't remember.
He
Yeah.
wasn't. He was intimidating and he was scary and he got shit done. And you were just like, ooh, I have to go talk to Lloyd. I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
And in this, he's just such a.
he's a lapdog.
I can't even come up with the right low grade insult. He's such a.
Yes, man.
Just a dweefus.
But he's like super paranoid, and
Yeah.
which I think he was scared of Flag, but not
Oh, he was terrified of Flag because
But
he
not
knew
to
what
the-
Flag was capable of.
right, but not to the degree of like becoming a complete bumbling idiot around other people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
no.
mean?
Yeah.
The Lloyd in this new one was just like a dork.
And I sent Beth a text, CJ, when Garbage Man showed up.
Yeah, trash can man.
Trash Can Man
Oh.
showed up. I'm like, what are they doing?
What
Why
is this?
he a screaming like primitive man? Like, he wasn't like that.
No.
He was obsessive. Yes.
Yep.
He was over focused, hyper focused on
Hyper focused on the
on
fire.
pyrotechnics and
Yeah.
pyromania and bombs and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a
wasn't, like,
pyromaniac.
Yeah.
but he wasn't a screeching like animal man.
Yeah. Okay.
That bothered me a lot.
That was
yeah.
weird.
He was the weirdest character of them all. Like that didn't belong. Like
Well,
that doesn't.
I feel like Trash was always kind of a weird character. You're always just like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was quite a liberty.
Accurate.
Like,
I would
wow.
agree with that.
Nowhere in the writer's room, they went, I don't know, guys.
Maybe this is not such a hot idea.
Maybe we should have this guy who escaped the loony bin.
Yeah, I mean, that's better, right? He burnt up old lady Simple's pension check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I feel like this was a missed opportunity. They had such an opportunity with the progression of special effects and just I feel like
Just storytelling in general, they could have taken their time with it.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
10 hours.
They could
They-
have gone
they-
longer.
It could
Yeah.
have gone longer.
This
Like,
is a huge
the
book.
four-part miniseries told more story than this one did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if I have my book in here. I was gonna see how many pages it is.
I'm thinking about audiobooking it and listening to it like when I drive back and forth to work.
That's a good
do
idea. Yeah.
My audio
I think
book
it's
is like
75 hours.
40 hours or something
It
like
said
that.
75 when I looked it up.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Let's see.
I was like, that's
Because
a
I
lot of,
have
that's
it
a lot of
right
hours.
at the fingers here. Where's my book? Yeah. So I think I don't know if they'll ever make a really good version of it. Like the 90s version is good. It's good. It's better than this. But I still feel like things are not quite right.
Yeah.
I say keep trying, just like Fantastic Four. Just do it.
I don't think they're gonna try again.
No, probably not.
It'll
This
be a
is-
decade.
this-
Then they'll do it.
Eh,
Well, it's been longer than a decade.
it was 2
since
decades
they did
between
it here.
these two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
There was things I liked about it, and things I think I disliked more about it than I liked, which
yeah.
is kind of unfortunate.
So we
Um,
have the unabridged special edition version on audiobook, and it's 47 hours and 47 minutes.
Okay.
It
So I wonder
it,
what the hell I was looking at.
it takes time. I know there's a German version of it,
Huh.
which I can imagine. Like, German is kind of a grouchy sounding language anyway, and then you dump Captain Trips in that, it's got to be pretty epic.
Yeah.
So
But-
I think it was brave that they decided to start airing this in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It put the fear of God in DJ. He was like, "No, I don't want to do this now."
And then I do have a question, Beth.
Yeah.
Since you have it a little more closer to memory.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas wasn't like that, correct?
No, Vegas was very straight and narrow.
Yeah, it was
They-
very like tightly run, militaristic. Like if you stepped out of line with a vice, you were put to death.
Then
Like,
you were the ones crucified on the telephone poles.
right.
You
It
do
wasn't like a
what
big
you're supposed to
lust
do.
fest. Right.
Yeah, it wasn't like a freaking
Free for all.
crazy orgy. It wasn't like Caligula.
That's how they portrayed it in this, though.
Yeah.
It is
Which
how
was-
they portrayed it in this, because
which was
I
confusing
think
to
that's
me.
one of the things that they were really selling. They're like, we can do this in such a great way, and it'll be so inclusive.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of odd things. I'm not one to kink shame, but I saw some things that I was just like, well, hello there, CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't quite how it was in the book, and it certainly wasn't how it was in.
Yeah, I remember it being like they were all pretty like like you said, straight and narrow. Like,
Yeah, you toe the line, or flag
no
will
drug
kill
use,
you.
no, goofing around with, orgy
Oh,
type things.
well.
I'm here.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Poor
Poor Joe.
poor Joe.
Oh dear.
He's still speaking on his end. I don't know what he's
I
saying,
know.
but
Oh. But yeah, it was.
yeah.
He's right that Vegas was in the book very. You toe the line, or flag will kill you.
He just said, "Yike."
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Somehow I remember that it was more of a, you follow flag or you get killed.
Yeah, and they sort of showed that with the guy who showed up in the car and warned them about, like, he came and he was like possessed by flag.
Yeah.
But it was, there was a lot in it that didn't need to be there at the cost of like character development and relationship development and stuff like that. It's a disaster story. It's a plague, a story about the plague that ends the world, but it is absolutely a character driven story, and they dumped character like it was
Okay, I
a
don't know
hot
what
potato.
happened.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I kept the recording going, Deej, so
Oh,
everything
good.
should be okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
I just noticed it
do have to
disconnecting and
say,
reconnecting a bunch, so I don't know.
It is weird. These things happen. These things happen to me
Yeah.
all the time, I guess.
It's true.
Okay,
It
so
happened to
what
all of us.
did you guys move on to?
Well,
We were
still
just
on it,
wrapping
but-
up on the stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the one of the last things is like one of the was it the final episode where the gal is just like on this well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was written
Unnecessary.
by Stephen King
Yeah.
as an epilogue for Fran's story because she doesn't have the chance to make her stand.
Oh,
So that was what that was. And I'm like, choices again.
Yeah, like just go to
She
the
didn't need
side.
to.
Yeah,
No.
there was
her stand was bringing a new life into this crazy adventure,
yeah.
and standing by Stu's decision to go do this thing.
Right.
Right.
Oh
Like,
my God. They didn't do anything with Tom Collins saving Stu.
Right. They didn't even show. All they did was show him find Kojak. That was it.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was very.
They
disappointed
dedicated a
with that.
ton of time to their like travels together, even
Yeah.
in the miniseries.
Yeah, they could have added so many more hours to this.
God.
They could have added hours, or they could have just cut some of the montages down.
Yeah,
And-
I didn't mind the flashbacking too much. I thought that was a good way to kind of bring you up to speed on everybody.
yeah.
But they could have shortened like the Larry stuff with that woman probably could have been shortened.
Yeah, in the 90s version, she's not there at all.
No, it's Nadine.
Yeah, he just
essentially.
meets Nadine and they leave New York.
Yeah.
They
I
didn't
like-
even do like the tunnel really well. There's
Nope.
so much about it.
I like the Lloyd bit that they showed. I thought that was good. Because you can see him like literally at his wit's end.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I'd give it a 4 overall. Below average.
Yeah, I'm
Or just very average.
super
Yeah.
de-duper average.
Kind of a disappointment.
I'll give it a I want to say a 4 because I'm like meh. But I also want to say a 5 because they had the balls to try it.
Fair.
That book is huge.
Yeah.
It's so big and there's so much to cram in there. And like I told DJ, it's a hugely character driven novel and they went character, ball it up and toss that right out the window.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't need that.
It's all
Let's
about
make
the
'em-
journey, not the character.
it's all about walking and seeing dead things and also crows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make really big deal out of the dreams, which are hugely important, but then they're like not even the right things. Like, where were the rats in the corn? We had a wolf instead. And also, you guys, Hemingford Home, where Mother Abigail started out, was a plot of land that her father had owned and her grandfather before them in Nebraska, not a nursing home in Colorado. Thank you very much.
Good point.
They ended up going to Boulder.
Yeah. So,
Not meeting her there.
yeah, and she had issues all about leaving this plot. Her family had ended up selling off pieces of land and like it was a huge ordeal for her. And here she was just like, well,
Come on down to Hemingford Home. We got plenty of
everyone's dead
tapioca.
here and they're
Yeah.
not giving me jello anymore, so let's move on. Nobody's playing bingo. Boring.
The canasta room is empty.
Empty. Damn it, I don't have a bridge partner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
What
think
would you rate it?
I'm giving it a 6 because
Okay.
there were parts that I liked about it, parts I didn't like. It made me squeamish at points.
Yeah.
It made me
was-
angry at points. It made me. It did a little bit of everything.
It made you feel, so you give it points. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. And the music, it somewhat apropos. I thought it was well chosen, and other times it seemed like it was well chosen, but it was like, well, you only chose it because you ended it with that phrase, and that's the music that has the phrase. So okay, I get
Right.
it.
Roller
So-
skate key.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
exactly. So, and the fact that I hear that song on the Dr. Demento show all the time, which is kind of fun. So,
There we go.
yeah. So
Your
that's it.
comprehensive breakdown of the stand.
There you go.
If
Exactly.
you want, if you have questions or want to ask whatever, give us a text.
Yes,
Let me know. I'll
Ask
throw more stuff
whatever.
at you.
There you go. 512 podcast.
Long live Tom Cullen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I am 46 years old.
Yeah.
I
love how he
you
would go-
just get frustrated and start
go-
over.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm mentally disabled. What would he say? He wouldn't say mentally disabled. He would say a different term for it.
Yeah, it was like mildly I can't remember. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good though. And the actor himself, I associate him with a character from Orange is the New Black, who I absolutely despised. So when I saw that, I'm like, no, 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 he can't be Tom Cullen. And then when he showed up, I was like, oh, converted. This is amazing. So yeah, he was really great.
Yeah, he did
Super
great.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked his portrayal.
So what have I been watching?
What have you been watching?
I will
Tell
tell you. Well, I started watching, rewatching, I guess you could say, Star Trek Voyager. So I'm still working on that. We watched the first season of The Shooter.
Oh.
So a Marine gets caught up. 'Cause this Marine is like this long gun, like he can shoot like 1,000 yards and hit the target, and all that stuff. So the conspiracy is what got me hooked.
Okay.
The idea of it kind of glorifies guns, and I'm not really fond of that. So I'm kind of not into this. I'm into it, but I'm not. Like the conspiracy part and the what can go wrong does go wrong kind of is a thing. The very first season, we really don't ever see the main character kill anybody. Like he is like a long range shooter, and even in the flashbacks, we don't see him shoot anybody. But we see him pulling the trigger, we see him doing all this stuff, but there's no dead. Or there's dead later, but we just have to assume that he did it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that part was really neat. But it was really definitely glorifying guns a little more than I would expect.
A little too much?
What I
Okay.
like. But like if you like conspiracy theories, like the FBI is in on it, the CIA is in on it, all these other people are in on it, and this one person is the only person in the FBI that believes that the story is true and
Yeah.
gets into a lot of trouble for following that. You know. So I mean I like it. It was I mean I don't want to say I can't say I love it. I would give it a 5 like if I
Yeah.
were rating it. So it kept
Is
my
it loosely based on the Mark Wahlberg movie? Like, is it a series based off that?
I don't know. I think this may have come out before that.
When did that come out? That show?
Shooter,
Good.
I think it's like 2014.
Oh, Shooter was 07.
Oh, 07. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was a U.S. Marine sniper, and
Oh,
he got
okay.
framed for a shooting that he
Yeah.
didn't do.
Got it. Yeah.
And then. Huh. Okay.
So, yeah,
So this
and so we started watching season 2, and I think we're like 3 episodes into that. And my biggest thought is, okay, you have this conspiracy, how do you even get into it again? How? What is going on there? And so they're showing us how they get back into another conspiracy.
Okay.
So, we watched a little bit of a lot of it.
I think it is based on the same source material.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
From what I'm seeing, it looks like.
Got it. Mary Poppins Returns. That was good.
Ah.
Flora and Ulysses. I don't know if I talked about it on the last show or I meant to or what.
I think you forgot to. I think you watched it and you're like, oh, I was going to talk about this.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, it was really great. Like this little girl, her parents are getting a divorce or separated, and her father wrote this comic about a superhero, and he keeps getting denied. And the mom is also a writer, and she's having writer's block and can't get anything on paper to do anything. And so this little girl ends up, she's like always talking about the superhero her dad created and really excited about it. And at this one point, she's with her neighbor, and this squirrel gets sucked up into this robot vacuum cleaner
Oh, God.
and is unconscious and dying.
Oh.
or is dead. And so the little girl decides, she says, "Dad, you remember when we learned infant CPR?
Oh, there you go.
Squirrels have the same thing." And of course, she brought it back to life this way, like
Hashtag squirrel CPR.
squirrel CPR. And the funniest line was, "So was it dirty?" And they're like, "Well, no, really? Okay, maybe a little bit. I mean, really? Okay, that was the filthiest mouth ever, but I still did it."
Yikes.
So,
Yikes.
very cute film. I think that one's on Disney Plus.
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah. So, and the squirrel ends up getting superhero strength, and
Nice.
or he just falls with style. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, so it's like the Spider-Man of squirrels?
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, at one point, the squirrel does pull or save the dad from falling off the roof, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
infant
strong
CPR has the ability to grant superpowers.
basically, yes.
Wonderful.
Right. So.
I'm for it.
For it. So, Finding Ohana is another Disney film. No, wait, was it on Disney?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Okay, it's on Disney Plus. Okay, Finding Ohana. Watched that one. Really a cute
At least
film.
I think it is. Pretty sure it is.
I-
I'm gonna Google it.
Or it's on Netflix. It's either one.
Oh yeah.
But so that one was really cool. Father.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay, Netflix. Okay, got it.
Same difference.
This
Stand
one.
corrected.
What we really liked about this one, it was a lot about geocaching.
Oh.
So there's some lingo about geocaching, which was really neat. Little girl likes to find treasures. The brother, who who's supposed to be in high school, but he looks like he's in his 20s. I don't know how that's the.
That's always the case.
They took some liberties there.
It's casting. It happens.
Yeah. I mean, but still. So, they end up going from New York to Hawaii because her the girl's grandfather or mom's dad has a heart attack. And so they're going to go take care of him for a little while. And the little girl, she likes hunting for geocaches and treasures and all that great stuff. So she finds the book, and this book has a treasure map. And so they decide that they're going to go and hunt for this treasure. And it's a real treasure rather than a geocache, which is like little human-made treasures, I guess you could say.
Right.
Yeah. So I won't tell you much more about it, but it's really a nice story. It's very heartwarming. And how they all find their ohana, because the woman, the wife, the mother, their father died. Shortly after that, they all moved to New York, and so it was just the three of them, the mom and the two kids, living in New York doing their thing. And now they're going back into Hawaii, getting to know each other a little bit better, because in New York, apparently, their lives were so separate, they didn't get to know each other well enough. So, Finding Ohana. I recommend it. Check it out. It really is a cute story. This one was really good. Also made me, really angry. The United States versus Billie Holiday.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember if that one was on. I think it's on Amazon. No, it's on Hulu. That's it. That one's on Hulu. About Billie Holiday and what she went through as a singer and trying to make something of herself, and also what she did for civil rights movement. What a great story. This was a great story, and I can't stand what people had to go through back then, and
Pretty terrible.
it's awful. It really is, and I'm just ashamed that stuff happened. I don't even know I don't know. I don't have words for it. Like
yeah.
I would. I don't know. It's just awful. It's just awful.
Yeah, man.
And I'm
pretty
glad that they're
gross.
telling the story, and she was amazing. I mean, she went through a lot, and I mean,
Yeah.
from a drug addict, and I saw an interview with the actress that played Billie
Mm-hmm.
Holiday, and apparently she's much like me, where like we don't really curse that much, but when she had to play Billie Holiday, she did. And
Right.
and in the interview, she even cursed and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get out of it."
Habit. Acting.
But apparently, this actress doesn't smoke either, and she took up smoking just for this part,
Ooh,
So-
dedication.
and lost 40 pounds for this part too, because
Ouch.
she was I mean, I think it's heroin. I think it was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
But wow. She didn't take up drugs, but she hung around the crowd just to learn more about them.
Probably better.
So yeah, I think so.
That's the safer route.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Um,
generally.
But it's on Hulu. If you get a chance, check it out. I mean, it was really good. Very emotional. So, last thing, The Equalizer on what is it called? CBS All Access.
Ah.
Or it's going to be the Plus soon. Whatever, the Mountain Plus.
Mountain Plus.
Mountain Plus.
Mountain.
So it's with Queen Latifah as the Equalizer.
Okay.
It's you can tell it's very mathematical as far as I guess the storyline. It's she's ex whatever CIA or whatever it is. And she's trying to have a family life as well. So you have the secret life intermingling with the home life now, and we cut to different scenes. Oh, Mom, I have this. What is it? A performance or whatever, but I know you're never gonna make it, so I don't even want to tell you about it. And she says, "Oh, I'll be there." And of course, what happens? Something comes up where she might not make it.
Oh.
I mean, it's like a cookie cutter kind of a thing. Like, so you kind of see it happening. You know what they're going to do. But you know what? I just love seeing Queen Latifah act. She is just awesome.
She is pretty great.
I love her. And so I think that I think I'm going to get into it. We watched like 2 episodes, and I think there's a total of 5 episodes out right now. And it's just released once a week. So that's all I've been watching.
It's a lot, though.
It is a lot. Yeah. I mean, I had 2 weeks. Plus doing school and getting a COVID vaccine and a partridge in a pear tree.
Finishing your kitchen. It's been a busy.
Oh yes, our
busy
kitchen
couple of
is
weeks.
done too. It's we're just the one thing we're waiting for is we ordered a lamp to go, kind of like a chandelier lamp or whatever in the middle of the kitchen.
A chandelier.
Yes,
I heard chandelier.
chandelier. Well, once that arrives and I can replace the lamp that's in there, then it's done.
Nice.
So, but
Good
it's
job, though.
yay.
Takes work.
It is. It was a lot of work.
Chandelier.
It looks nice
Chandelier.
though.
It does look good.
I think that it's worth it. I think that's what it is. It makes it worth it. Like, that's why when you see it all done, like all that hard
Okay.
work and stuff. Excellent.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
Definitely, you
guys
do.
You guys in your what the? Oh my God, my brain just stopped. Everyone
Remodeling.
Everyone stop.
remodeling. Thank
Remodeling.
God.
Yes.
There it is. Wow.
Yeah. Next we start on our movie room.
Oh,
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
that's gonna be gonna be
serious.
amazing when you're done with it.
I can't wait.
I have heard the plans, and I'm like jealous.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while to get all the way done, but we can get some of the what is it? Just like the visual
Pieces?
parts done. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you get it.
Pieces?
Pieces. Some
Yeah.
of the piece is done.
Is
Some of the
that what you
pieces.
mean?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hey, I have a question.
What?
True or false? The lead
Chicken
villain.
butt. Oh.
Yes. The lead villain character of the 1989 film Batman was the Joker, played by Denzel Washington. And Jean, she texted in. She says, with laughing emojis, says, Denzel Washington as the Joker?
Question mark?
No way in hell. If you know
Perfect.
anything about him, you'd know there's no chance he'd ever take that role.
Wow.
So, she got the answer right. No way.
Yeah. No way in hell.
That's right. It was Jack Nicholson, everybody. In case
Was
you didn't
indeed.
know.
HE double hockey stick.
Sorry.
So, in, I guess, in the Batman form, Batman Forever featured Drew Barrymore as which character? There you go. That's the question for this week. I don't know why I felt like Batman twice, but I just was like,
Well,
yeah,
that's a tricky one.
yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Next week or this week, whatever, SpongeBob, you could watch that. Like Sponge on the Run.
Sponge on the run.
on Mountain
That's
Plus.
what it's called.
And I don't know where you're gonna watch this one.
Sponge on the
Pixie. I know that it's on like Amazon Prime in Europe, so I'm guessing it should be here in the United States this week.
That's not always the way it works.
Not always, no.
Sometimes things are only available in certain areas.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's true.
But I will look right now. It's called Pixie.
Pixie, yes. And there's another one called Moxie, and I think that comes out this weekend, but I don't remember. I think that's. I wish I knew these. It's so hard
and Moxie.
to nail down these dates and nail down these releases or where they're being released.
Because they just keep changing everything.
When there's a ton of pluses and a ton of minuses and a ton of like.
I see no Pixie on Prime Video.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's
So
not there
it might
yet.
just be in.
Like Friday
in the
is when it
UK.
comes out, I think. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So that anyway,
If you find it, go ahead and
check
send
it
us
out.
a message.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know where nail anything down. Is it going to be on HBO Max? Is it there's nothing. And when I looked on what realgood.com, it doesn't even show me what's opening this week. It's like, oh no, whatever happened in the past, like yesterday, then we know.
We're aware that occurred.
Yes, exactly.
And
Next
we'll let
week,
you know.
we can't cover.
Right?
We'll let you know what happened last week, though.
Oh well.
That's pretty funny.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so what we said, Joe. No. Sorry, the actor for next week.
Oh.
Jeffrey
Jones.
Jones. Thank you. We had it there. That's right. If you have a film that you really loved that Jeffrey Jones is in,
Mr. Mooney.
what?
Charles Dietz.
Charles Dietz.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I'm breaking him. I was just excited about characters that he played.
Oh.
You're gonna make DJ's brain skip.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I was just like, wait a minute.
Just record scratch.
He's like trying to process what you're saying and say what he's
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah, sorry.
512 Deets. No. No. 512 podcast. There we go. I gave that to you so you can tell us what movie you like that he is in. There we go. Shout out at tfwmovies.com is our email, or at tfwmovies on Twitter, Facebook, Instagrams. Yeah. Oh, we
There you have it.
never posted Joe's desk on the Instagrams.
Oh,
We talked
No,
about
we
it.
didn't.
Yeah.
that's okay.
That's okay. Is it a mess now? Did like after a couple weeks go by?
No, it's nope.
Oh,
No.
good.
Hold on.
Joe is a tidy man.
Aha.
Not always, but this one, since I'm sitting at it a lot, yes,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, this is starting to pile up. Let's get rid of that.
Ah, got it. That makes sense. All right, it's time to plug something, everybody. Shall we? Let's say, like,
Yeah.
Checho's Standard Tattoo Parlor.
Choo-choo.
Yep, I think they're still in the purple, but they're really close to changing. They're like almost not purple anymore.
Yeah, I think it's almost red down here. So let's do
Nice.
it.
Yeah, and then they'll be on appointments only. So, and watch out for some deals, because like they're gonna need to make up some money, so they'll give you some deals, and he's really good, y'all. He's quick. He'll get you in and out. No, I mean in the shop and out of the shop. I don't think he'll supply In-N-Out Burger to anybody.
Oh,
What?
man, he's not DoorDash?
No.
Deal's off.
I mean, if you
Nah.
ask nicely, I bet he would. He's that cool, honestly.
He's a super nice guy.
Yeah, super duper nice guy. So anyway, the Standard Tattoo Parlor. Check them out on Instagram at the Standard Tattoo Parlor. It's pretty easy to find, I'm thinking. So let's see. What else? The Nerda in Law. That's a book that I wrote. That's Nerda in Law. Yeah, it's a fun little book. Still selling copies, which is really nice. I like that.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Very cool. Appreciate that. 29 Toes Podcast, we like to listen to them. I mean, they do things that I would never do, I guess. I mean, staple, never mind. I'm just not
Yeah,
even...
it's true.
Yeah, so they entertain me. That's important, and I hope
They
they
are
would
funny
entertain
guys.
you. So, and they're all Patreon subscribers, so that's really kind of cool.
Look at that.
Absolutely. So let's see. Joe, you want to plug something?
Sure, I will continually plug my Twitch channel. You can find me Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and the occasional Sunday at twitch.tv/apostle_OFC. And if you're hearing this on Tuesday, March 2nd, I will be appearing on a friend of mine's stream who does a variety/news channel. It'll be found at twitch.tv/manlikedeeps, MANLIKESDEEPS. He's going to be interviewing me about my streaming, my music, just generally getting to know who I am.
You are quite the artist, man. You like
Seriously.
I try.
that's amazing.
Well did.
Yeah. No wonder you do so well on this show.
I do all right.
You're very wordly in a good way.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have made it through the whole show. Give yourself a pat on the back. Oh, don't beat yourself.
Literally.
Jeez.
Literally, DJ literally patted it.
You told
Smacking
me.
himself.
You told me. Oh wait.
Pat,
wasn't
not
for you.
Smack. Jeez
That was for the
Louise.
listeners, not the cat.
Oh, sorry, listeners. I take that back.
We've come to the point in the show where we thank everybody. So get ready for the thankathon. We, of course, always like to start with our Patreon members, Lucas, Abby, Tyler, Teacher Jam Strauss, Sean Blue, of course, but we thank her later, and Wendy. Big Checho, who does our art for us. Thanks, Big Checho.
Thanks, Checho.
Yay, Checho.
We would like to thank the cast members. That's DJ McGee over there, sitting in his house. There's
My purple
Joe.
kilt.
Sitting in his house at his desk
Yep.
because he's a tidyman, and I am Beth.
Yay, thank you, man.
I am sitting at my desk, which is not as tidy as Joe's. I guarantee it. We'd like to thank the beautiful ladies behind the scenes who keep us sane throughout the week by letting us watch terrible movies like Ants on a Plane.
Ugh. Jeez.
So thank you very much, Blue. You're a wonderful human being. Dorothy Fielden, you're my mom, and thanks for other things too, because there's a whole bunch I should thank you for. Also, Penny McGee, married to DJ. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But most of all, we would like to thank you, the listener. Thanks for listening to Thanks for Watching. Make sure you wash your hands, wear a mask, get vaccinated if you want. It's probably a good idea. And, be excellent to each other. Talk to you guys next week. I'm not really into monster movies, so, Frankenstein, The Mummy, Joe Pesci, Godzilla.
I got fat on my bones. Here's my fish.
Get your Jonathan Franks. Yeah, they're bun length and they're all beef.